Let's turn our attention to paper space. Because we're using the layout here, you can see we have several sheet sizes. Our target sheet size is the ANSI A landscape, which is this one right here. And a few things to think about. We have our background, we have the sheet, we have the printable margin, and according to our particular template file, we have a viewport that's on the viewport layer, which is currently turned off. When I turn that on, you can actually see the physical boundaries of the viewport. If I manipulate this while I'm in layout paper, as you can see here, I'm in this layout. You can see I'm in paper space. I'm basically adjusting the size of the viewport area, right? Keep it within the margins. And in order to show my drawing correctly here, okay, here's how you can approach it. You can either double click within the boundaries of the viewport, or you can use this model paper button. So here you can see I'm in the layout paper. The only thing I can edit is whatever is in the paper. But if I switch over to model, I'm in layout and model space, and now whatever I do to the model here, I do to the model here. Now you can see that here in this model, I have my annotations, so obviously that layer is on, thawed, and visible, and I have my annotation scale. However, when I go to the layout paper, as you can see here, I have no annotations, right? And the reason for that is because I haven't set the appropriate annotation scale, and I have my filter that is on. So if I set it correctly here to 1 to 2, now you can start to see two things. One, the annotations are visible, and two, the viewport scale adjusted automatically as well. This will give me the opportunity to go ahead and pan this around to make sure I have it centered in my drawing view. All right, now what I would recommend is once you set the scale and the positioning for your design, this is where I'd like to lock the viewport, which will enable you to still go in and edit, zoom in and out, edit the model if you wish within the layout model space, but it'll prevent it from changing orientation or scale. Now the second thing is, once you've established your drawing view, you want to return to the paper here. You can use your layer tool here to freeze the viewport. Now you can see how the drawing floats within your title block. Then zoom in to the title block information block. This is a block with attributes, so if you double click on one of the attributes, this is how you can update your drawing title. For example, we'll call this Drawing Challenge 1. And we'll update the date for today's date, or the submission date. Make sure you put in your initials. This is the first submission, so there's no revision number. And this is sheet 2 of 2. And finally, our scale, which is 1 to 2. All right, you can see how everything updates. Now, also you may have noticed that everything is in color. So now let's take a look at our page setup for paper. Keep this in mind that your page setup for model is different from your page setup from paper. So what I'd like to do here is let's just go ahead and create a new page setup. All right, and this will be a PDF page setup for letter. And we'll go ahead and adjust our settings. So here we're going to use DWG to PDF. The paper size here will be our ANSI full bleed. And again, we're looking at 11 by 8.5, right? Landscape. The plot area would, in contrast to model, where we were using the limits, we're now using extents, and we're still going to center the print. But pay attention here. The paper itself is going to be printed 1 to 1, which means it's going to preserve that viewport scale, which is 1 to 2. So every time we print from the model, every time we print from the paper, our model scale is going to be set in the viewport. And every time we print from that paper should be printed full size. So that's why we have 1-to-1 here in our page setup. Also, we're going to start using the color table, the HP Plotter Mono Student color table. This is a class standard that's keyed to the colors in your template. Now, the second thing is I'm going to click on Display Plot Styles. And you'll see now when I click OK and I set this page setup current for our layout, you can see in the background how I adjusted. But now when I close, you can see how it all turns to black and white. Additionally, if you zoom in, now you can start to see the difference in line weights as well. Now, you can see if we switch over to output, we can do a full preview, right? You could zoom in, and now you can start to see the difference in the line weights, right? So, this is what we're going to get. When I exit this, I can just go right into plot, and then click OK here, making sure I have the right page set up. And then again, you're going to go ahead and save into your PDF folder for this particular exercise in the appropriate module. I've already developed it. You can see it's right here. But I'll go ahead and close it one more time so we can redo it as a test. All right, and what you see there is what you get here. And this is what's going to be uploaded to the assignment page. So that covers working with Drawing Challenge 1, looking at all the new features that you'll get to use using the mechanical template, including additional layers with colors and line types and layouts.